Hey everyone, welcome to term 2 where we're going to continue with our surds. So our goal today is to add and subtract surds by looking for like surds. So these are really similar to like terms in algebra. Our title for today is adding and subtracting surds. So, as I just said, just like simplifying an algebraic expression by looking for like terms such as x's or x squareds or y's, we can simplify expressions with surds by looking for like surds. So, for example, root 3 here and 4 root 3 are like surds because they both have that root 3 component. So we would be able to add those guys together as 1 root 3 plus 4 root 3, that's the same as having 5 lots of root 3. But if we have a look over here to the ones on the right hand side, we have root 21 there. Okay, that does not simplify down any further. And we have 21 root 7. We cannot do anything to simplify those guys because they're not like surds. The number underneath the surd symbol is different. So, let's get started with some examples. If you would like to, feel free to pause this video and have a go yourself. So, just like that one we did before, if we have 2 root 3 plus 4 root 3, we have like surds here of root 3. So that's the same as like adding 2x and 4x together. So in this case, we get 2 root 3 plus 4 root 3 is 6 root 3. Okay? Moving on to B though, we notice something different. We have a root 2 here and we have a root 8, and it doesn't seem as though first off that we can actually do anything with these guys. And this is where we need to use our knowledge from last lesson. What we need to do is we need to simplify our root 8 to get it to root 2 in order to work with these two terms together. So let's simplify root 8. So we've got 5 root 2 minus, well, I know that root 8 is going to turn into root 4 times root 2. Okay? And then I can evaluate my root 4. That's just a 2. So we've got 5 root 2 minus 2 root 2. And now we're in a position with like surds. We've got lots of different root 2's there. So 5 root 2 minus 2 root 2 is 3 root 2. And that's how we simplify our surds. It's not always going to be this case. You can see over here we have a root 6, root 6, root 2, root 2. Now there is no way we're going to be able to join the root 6's and root 2's together, and that's okay. Let's have a go at simplifying C together. Again, feel free to pause at any time and have a go at these yourself. So, I notice here I've got root 6 terms that are common, and I have root 2 terms that are common. So that's all I'm going to be able to work with there. Let's first start with the root 6 terms. 4 root 6 minus 3 root 6. Remember that negative, that minus is part of that term. We get root 6 or 1 root 6. And then we have 3 root 2 plus 2 root 2. So that gives us 5 root 2. Now we're not in a position where we can actually simplify those any further. So that is simply my answer. I'm going to give you some time now to have a look at question D. I can assure you that these guys will all simplify to one surd at the bottom. So have a go now and think how you can work these out. All right. So I can't simplify 2 root 5, but what I can do is I can recognize that root 20 is root 4 times root 5. Similarly, root 45, let's think about that for a moment. That's 9 times 5, so root 9, root 5. We notice here we're going to get some nice whole numbers falling out, so root 4 can be evaluated and so can root 9. So let's evaluate those guys. We get 2 root 5 minus 3 times 2, because that root 4 becomes a 2, root 5, plus 6 times 3 root 5. In the next step, I'm just going to simplify these guys. So I've got 2 root 5, take 6 root 5 plus 18 root 5. And now I notice that I have like terms of root 5 everywhere. So if I pop those all together, 2 minus 6 plus 18, that will give me 14 root 5 as my answer. Now, sometimes it really is difficult to know whether you can simplify them into the same surd, and this is where I'm going to say to you, the more you expose yourself to these surds, the easier it will become. So have a go now at these guys here, all right? If you can do those, you should get the following answers. You will get 5 root 2 for the first one and 2 root 3 for the second. All right, if you have any trouble with those, make sure you email me. Then I want you guys to have a go at these questions in exercise 3B. Okay, so just do A, C, and E from question 2 to 5. And if you're looking for that challenge, we've got question 6 and question 11. Thanks, guys.